Alright, welcome back to Let's Play Gungrave Overdose. So this area is going to be slightly more interesting than the last, hopefully, only because it has one little caveat that we have to destroy all these little shield things as we go around in this linear, narrow, guardrail type of construction here. And there's more of those dropship enemies, so some variety at least. But other than that, it's going to be the same old variety of enemies we've been fighting up until this point. So we have to destroy each of these things before we can leave the room, of course. And all of them continue to spawn more enemies in those little pod things beside them. I wonder if that has to do with how they create Orgmen or something like that. Maybe how they create the particular kinds of enemies we're fighting in this level. And again, we didn't see this part of the facility when we were here the first time. We sort of we found out that the Big Five had been turned into a giant Orgmen creature, a giant seed monster, and then just decided to leave because we had had enough that day. But now we're back. So I figured I'd take this opportunity to talk about some other things unrelated to what's actually happening in the game and talk about some of the other fine details of the Let's Play itself or other Let's Plays I'm working on. So the whole copyright infringement deal that you guys have been putting up with lately very patiently with me as far as getting these videos edited down and compromising some of the audio quality during cutscenes to deal with the fact that the music keeps getting copyright strikes against it because either Victory Entertainment has a stick up their ass or the YouTube copyright content ID system is just easily exploited. I'm going to go with the latter since I don't actually know Victory Entertainment's stand on this kind of thing. But obviously they had to have inserted all their music voluntarily into the database in order for it to be having a content ID match. So clearly they must care about people like me with a negligible amount of followers being able to make a video on this obsolete game for an obsolete system. Anyway, it's gotten worse to an extent because now not only are the videos getting blocked in America, they're getting blocked in Australia and New Zealand. So, yeah, that's lovely. Eventually, it's just going to straight up, delete the video entirely or, block the video everywhere and just file a copyright strike against my account or something like that. Who knows? It's just getting ridiculous. But like I said, the same trick is still working to get to get around it, and you guys are pretty much still able to enjoy the video to the same degree because you can still hear the dialogue in the cutscenes, and the song is still there. It's just the quality is not as good. It's really all that changes, as far as I know. All the more reason for you guys to pick this game up for yourself and play it. It's pretty hard to find. Both of the Gungrave games are pretty obscure, but they don't go for a whole lot of money. The first game I got for $6 when I found it. One of the places I collect my games from. It was pretty hard to find there even. Like I've only ever seen like another copy of there once, and I've never seen a copy of Overdose there. My copy of Overdose was actually sealed, and I think you can get a copy of Overdose for like $20 to $25, I believe. It's a bit more expensive, but it was a much more critically well-received game for obvious reasons, so yeah, that's probably why. I still wish there could be an HD collection of these two games. That would be wonderful. I was talking a little bit at the end of the last video about the slow motion demolition shots that I haven't really been using, and like I said, I don't see much of a point to them. Like they're kind of nice. I mean, I love bullet time and all these kinds of games. You know, a la Max Payne style, the spend time thing in Dishonored, whatever have you. But in this case, it just seems, like I said, I'll be using both the second and third one at the end of the game in the last encounter, but up until then, I really don't see any need to use them.
You little... Mika, have you gone mad?
She looks pretty badass there, I gotta say.
Mika, how are you doing? Seed restructures the cells of its host, making them stronger. That increases the chance of its own survival, you see? During this process, Seed analyzes the makeup of its host to find the most efficient way of transforming its body. This includes a psychological analysis of the host. This is why everyone injected with the seed displays a different transformation. This means that depending on the host's willpower, they may be able to control seed's invasion of their body.
What are you talking about?
I understand.
Mika is so strong. I thought she'd... I'm sorry.
I was almost dead. You had no choice but to do what you did.
You've got to be kidding me.
This is insane.
I don't know how much longer she will be able to control it. Seed might take over tomorrow, or maybe today. But I thought it was worth trying. Our goal is just beyond these doors.
Thank you, Spike.
Yeah. You all would have done the same thing in my place. Wouldn't you?
Yes. But this isn't over yet. You've given me a second chance. I have something to ask all of you. If we don't make it in time...
We know.
Please. Please do it. Before I stop being human.
Ugh, you kids. I'll never understand you. But there's still something fishy here. Just who are you, Spike? Huh? And what about Fangaram leaving you untouched? I don't get that at all.
Just wait. You'll understand everything soon enough. These doors are incredibly strong. Even a nuclear blast wouldn't dent them. They're made of a material not found on Earth. But if we don't get through these doors, we'll never reach Garino.
Listen, you...
Just watch.
Conducting DNA analysis. Identity confirmed. Garino, Criale, Corsione. Gate opening.
What?
He created me just a year ago. I suppose he wanted a second in command. Someone who would be his intellectual equal, but still follow his orders. An intelligent slave. It was horrible. Can you imagine what it's like to know that you're nothing more than a copy? I had to get rid of him. I had to get rid of the original. That's why I left him and began plotting my revenge. That's right, Grave. My plan was to use you. I thought someone good enough to get away with the Billion City incident just might be able to defeat Garino. And my association with Mika? I approached her because I knew that she was the only one who could control Grave. I really had no use for you, Mika. I only wanted to use Grave to kill Garino. The soup you made for me, your kind words, your compassionate looks, they meant nothing to me. In fact, I could barely stand it. Once we get through these doors, it'll be all up to you. We don't have much time. Onward into the belly of the beast! That's all I have to say. Hey, wait for me.
I just want to get one thing straight. Did you sell us out to the enemy? Punk.
No?
All right then.
But...
I know you're not Garino. And now I know why I was so suspicious of you.
What?
You know, I worked really hard on making that suit for you.
I'm sorry.
Let's go.
Alright, I want to go over everything that happened in that previous scene there because I have a lot to say about it. But first of all, I want to establish what we're going to be doing in this room because this room is quite tricky, and I actually got stuck in this room quite a few times in my first playthrough of the game. So basically what you have to do here is there is sort of a path you have to follow where you have to do some clever platforming and not fall down to the first floor there. So you have to jump across the openings of these. It's hard to say. It's almost like a arrangement of crates or whatever, but it's just one big solid platform and you have to jump across and follow the path. And every time you do this, a new wave of enemies spawns in on the path. And if you fall off, and like I just did, and you have to do it all over again, and the same wave of enemies will spawn all over again. So you basically have to do the encounter again from scratch. It doesn't get any easier. You have to line up your jumps perfectly, and obviously this game is not known for its platforming. So we just kind of have to do that forward dodge roll maneuver, the shoot dodge maneuver in order to get over there. Again, Max Payne style. This is basically the only way he could platform either. Anyway, so I'm going to be trying and failing at this probably multiple times, so as I do so, I'm going to talk about that last scene. So, that was a great scene, but something about it just doesn't sit right with me, because it just seems like Spike's character is just not tonally consistent, because at first he has the tone of, oh, I betrayed you, I sold you out to begin with, you know, this was all just a clever ploy, and then they show forgiveness to him because obviously they're getting what they want in the deal anyway. They're getting to the bad guy, but also it's like they forgive him, and then they show him compassion, and he's like, "Oh wait, I do want to be accepted by you guys. I do want your compassion and understanding and your love." And it's like, just make up your damn mind, man. Something about it just doesn't sit right with me because he's like he's all sinister and he's talking bad to Mika about how much. I felt no compassion for you whatsoever. Your kindness was simply lost on me. And the whole thing about him being... Oh, okay, I'm going to say screw you guys. The whole thing about him being Garino's clone to begin with, I just thought was dumb. I mean, it works okay, especially for a story like this, but... Man, I guess it would have been better had they not foreshadowed to it as much, because I really just, with Juji's constant just yelling and his frustration at Spike for no apparent reason, he just comes across either as an asshole, or you think that there's clearly blatantly something wrong with Spike. So I tried to rush out the door here, and obviously I can't do that until I defeat the encounter that's behind me, so I'm going to have to improvise here. Lost a bit of health doing that, but it's okay. They all fell down, and we move on.